So we were just in Seattle, if you remember, with your funding to do it. That's the only reason we were able to go to Seattle and cover Amazon's disastrous effects on the city of Seattle. Rent has gone up as high as 70% in the last 5 years. Some estimates have it even higher. Seattle has become a wasteland for homelessness because there is no affordable housing anymore, because there's no rent control, and the city basically bent over for the last basically 2 decades for Jeff Bezos and Amazon. They gave them whatever they want, and essentially Jeff Bezos, what he wanted was a gentrified neighborhood for Amazon workers and other wealthy people. And as I've said when I was in Seattle, and I'll say it again now, I don't hold anything against the workers. I don't have, if you're a coder or tech person or software engineer, it's not your fault. It's Jeff Bezos' fault, and it's the Seattle city government and the state government and the federal government for basically choosing to, fluff Jeff Bezos and Amazon's pillow and forget the working people in cities like Seattle. And it's not just Seattle. You got Portland, San Francisco, LA, many, many other cities that have been really, really screwed by Silicon Valley and people like Jeff Bezos. So for all that, for all of what Seattle did, for all, Seattle, the city council, they were going to do a mild, call it a head tax, which was going to tax Amazon workers $275 a worker to pay towards affordable housing and investing to get homeless people off the streets. Jeff Bezos, whose company Amazon and him created the conditions for a homelessness crisis. And I have people tweeting me, it's not just Jeff Bezos. No, it is. Yes, there are other factors, but the homelessness did not just explode because a lemonade stand came into Seattle. It's Amazon. Microsoft played a part in that. So what is Jeff Bezos? Thank you to the city of Seattle, who sold out working people, who sold out lower income people. He's going to take his ball and go somewhere else. Shocking. Exclusive. Amazon moving thousands of employees out of Seattle, relocating key division to nearby city. Amazon plans to relocate its entire Seattle-based worldwide operations team to Bellevue, Washington by 2023, adding thousands of employees to its new campus just across Lake Washington, according to an internal email obtained by GeekWire. Moving a large and critical team away from Seattle's headquarters is a significant relocation of employees on its own, but it's also a weighty symbolic gesture, the clearest sign yet that the tech giant is cooling on its hometown while doubling down on a neighboring city. Quote, I'm excited to share the news that we're planning to migrate worldwide operations to Bellevue starting this year, said Dave Clark, the senior vice president in charge of the team, in an email to his employees. Sources familiar with the plans said several thousand employees will be moving to Bellevue in the years ahead. Amazon confirmed the authenticity of the email. Worldwide operations is one of the most critical teams at Amazon, the arm responsible for getting packages to customers' doors. It oversees more than 175 operating fulfillment centers around the world and the 250,000 employees who work there. The team also manages Amazon's thousands of delivery truck retailers and its fleet of 40 airplanes. New logistics initiatives like Amazon Delivery Service Partners program also fall under the worldwide operations purview. Amazon will start moving employees to Bellevue this month and will finish the migration by 2023. The company currently has 700 employees in Bellevue and more than 45,000 at its Seattle headquarters. It would take some time for Amazon's Bellevue team to grow to a size that rivals Seattle, but moving the worldwide operations team is a big step in that direction. The migration adds weight to the theory that Amazon is shifting its focus to Bellevue and other cities across the country amid ongoing tensions between the tech giant and its longtime hometown. Why would Amazon move one of its most essential teams out of the company's Seattle headquarters? Amazon hasn't yet commented publicly, but there are a few possible reasons. The move allows Amazon to continue tapping the Seattle region's deep talent pool, but lets the company escape some of the friction it's experiencing in its hometown. Oh, such friction, asking you to pay like a penny per worker. $275 a worker to Amazon is not even a penny, it's less than a penny. But you can't ask Jeff Bezos and other billionaire fuckheads, couldn't help myself, demonetized, leave a super chat if you can. Can't allow fuckheads like Jeff Bezos to lift a finger to help starving homeless people. Bellevue was Amazon's original birthplace, but CEO Jeff Bezos moved the company's headquarters to Seattle's urban core early on. He said the goal was to provide the type of urban environment that young, dynamic tech workers thrive in. But fast forward to 2019, and the tech industry's rapid growth has fomented frustration among longtime Seattleites who have whiplash from how quickly the city is changing. Yeah, some of them have whiplash sleeping in tents because they're homeless. That animosity came to a head last year when Seattle officials passed a tax on big businesses like Amazon to fund affordable housing, a pressing issue in the region. The business community balked at the tax, leading the city to repeal it less than a month later. The fight over the so-called head tax became emblematic of Amazon's strained relationship with Seattle. It's unbelievable to me. Let me first show you what Seattle City Council member Kshama Sawant said. Capitulating to corporate bullies and billionaires never works. Despite that shameful repeal of the Amazon tax by Seattle's Democrats, she is a socialist, Amazon has announced it's moving jobs anyway. Remember Boeing? We need to build a working class fight back in all cities. You tell them, Kshama. Love Kshama Sawant. So, let me get this straight. Seattle, which is run by Democrats, is thought to be progressive, essentially so that Jeff Bezos and Amazon will come in, will stay in, will be happy. No taxes on Amazon. Amazon barely pays federal tax. It barely pays city taxes. We're going to deregulate. There's really little regulation. By the way, there's infrastructure that needs to be built for Amazon to be there. I mean, I did an interview there, sewage that needs to be built, other electrical stuff around the city, just for Amazon's headquarters. All of this, not to mention the fact that rent has gone up 70% over the last 5 years, resulting, homelessness is bad in New York City. Homelessness is bad in Portland. Homelessness is bad in San Francisco. Homelessness is bad in LA. Homelessness is bad in Chicago. And on we go. But Seattle, the thing with Seattle, the homelessness is immersed even in the nice neighborhoods. There is no separation. I covered a homeless encampment there. It's literally in the middle of the street right next to beautiful new apartments. So Seattle basically bent over for Jeff Bezos. And then when those politicians got like one inch of courage to say, no, you know what? You are making it so that actual people from Seattle cannot live here. You are making it so working people cannot afford a place to live. You are making it so that over 4,000 children are homeless in Seattle. So we're going to make you pay $275 per employee. And what does Amazon do? It screams and hollers like a kid when you took away their snack. And now they're moving those jobs that Seattle's Democrat City Council and that Democrat mayor and the Democrat governor of Seattle, Jay Inslee, who's running for president, they're taking those jobs away that those people prostituted themselves for. And you know what I'm talking about if you live in Seattle. I want to play a clip from my interview with Kshama Sawant. Sorry, mispronounce it sometimes. That I think illustrates the point. Here's Kshama during our interview.
The question really goes to the heart of the way the capitalist system works, which is that you can have a booming economy, and yet that booming economy is going to leave behind the vast majority of people to some measure or another, some worse than the others. And so what you see is a construction boom in Seattle, also a jobs boom in some ways, but it mainly is benefiting a small section of society. And it's not only the billionaires that are benefiting. Obviously, they're taking home the lion's share of the wealth, but you do see tech jobs. And yes, absolutely, we want good quality jobs for ordinary people. We want people to excel in maths and sciences and really explore their talents. The problem, and this is the reason I'm a socialist, is that the problem with capitalism is that jobs only as a means, only so far as they are a means for expanding, ever expanding the profits for a small section at the top. And who are we talking about? Our enemies are not the workers in the tech sector. Our enemies are Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, billionaires like that. In fact, those three billionaires own more wealth than the entire bottom half of the US population. That's the kind of system we're talking about. And so that system is geared to rewarding people who already have immense amounts of wealth. And so Jeff Bezos gets richer every year while the rest of us get poor every year. So, what you said about developers having the keys to the kingdom, really, I think that's a metaphor for capitalism itself. Capitalism is a productive system, but the only people who have keys to the kingdom are the sliver at the top, and the rest of us have to struggle. And so, as a socialist, I would like us to imagine a different kind of society where the incredible wealth and resources and everything in our society is harnessed to make sure that everybody has a decent standard of living. And short of socialism, let me talk about something that we can do in the here and now. You talked about rent control. Absolutely, Seattle needs rent control without loopholes, corporate loopholes. What Seattle also needs is a massive expansion of social housing, which is publicly funded, affordable housing that will remain affordable to everybody at all times. But that has to be funded by taxing big businesses like Amazon and Macy's and so on. But what would that actually be? That would be a massive jobs program.
Keeping it real, love Shama Sawant. Not trying to start any friction for her, but we need her in Congress. We need her in D.C. because I think she's fabulous. I really do. I'm a bit of a fanboy for Shama Sawant. So let's be very clear here. Just like the federal government gave fraudulent criminal bankers a get-out-of-jail-free card, and they're now getting record bonuses after taking down the global financial economy, with no strings attached, by the way, Seattle and Washington State and the federal government just have given Amazon whatever the hell they want. No strings attached. And the slightest, whatever you want to call it, economic string, a tax that Jeff Bezos, it would not affect him or Amazon at all in the grand scheme. Amazon is a $1 trillion company. Taxing Amazon and other businesses in Seattle that have led to an epidemic of homelessness and an affordable housing crisis. And it's not just a homelessness, it's all the people living paycheck to paycheck that are one bad month in Seattle and other cities like it away from being homeless. So it's that economic insecurity that is also the crisis there. While Jeff Bezos is buying another yacht, he's making $266 million a day. And that was 6 months ago. I don't know, it might be more now. And it's all a ruse. You ask him to pay his taxes, you ask them to pay towards, to be, whatever they call it, responsible corporate citizens. And what do? They're taking their ball, they're taking those jobs that you prostituted yourself for. The Democrats in Seattle, the Democratic governor, they're taking their ball and they're going somewhere else. Great for Bellevue, you're going to get the jobs, but they'll do it to you when the jig is up. And when it eventually creates a homeless epidemic in your neck of the woods. So that's why the progressives and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and the progressives that fought this in New York City were right. Because Amazon would have done to New York City what it's now doing to Seattle. And that's why status quo is so important. This is not a cheesy segue to get you to sign up as a member, but the corporate media treats Jeff Bezos like he's Jesus of Nazareth. Like he is such a brave, special man. Oh, look at his philanthropy. Great. He gives to philanthropy after taking a machete to the working class. I don't give a damn about his philanthropy. Great. You know what? Bill Gates gives to philanthropy, he still owns a toxic waste management company that is responsible for people that I covered in St. Louis having to go outside, little children, and play with masks on because of his waste management landfill that has an underground methane fire near it. His landfill is basically a nuclear waste site next to an underground methane fire. And Bill Gates' company, has refused to move that waste because it would cost them money. Warren Buffett, biggest investor in the Dakota Access Pipeline, never gets talked about in the corporate media. So Jeff Bezos gets away with what he's doing because there's no media that holds him accountable. We will. That's not going to be my first rodeo to Seattle. And it's not going to be, we got to go to San Francisco and cover the homelessness issue. I was in Portland for the Young Turks years ago covering the homelessness issue. But I would love to do a tour of some of these cities that are being decimated by Silicon Valley, by big business, and by, let me be clear, spineless and greedy and corrupt, not Republicans, Democrats. Yes, we could rant about how terrible Donald Trump is. I'm about to tell you how terrible he is in a different story. But Trump isn't responsible for all of this. Democrats are helping usher in, and when you say a tale of two cities, it's a tale of two countries now. Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statusquo.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statusquo.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.